Hello everyone, welcome to Stuff by Sam. So let's say you're planning to travel abroad and you've gotten your travel documents, be it a work visa or a study visa, or you're just planning to relocate permanently. But at this stage you're confused, you don't know what next you need to do. You don't know what you need to look for. Well, I'll be sharing some tips in this video that might be helpful to you. I recall when I got my travel visa and I was about to travel, I just got very overwhelmed with the process. I didn't know what I needed to do next. So I'll be sharing those tips of the things that I've now learned that I think they will be helpful to you. So let's get into it. First step I'll be sharing is do your research. I'm sure you've done some research. I mean, you have your visa, so you've definitely done some research, but you need to do more research. You need to dive in deep. There are 5 things you really need to know that will affect your financial life, and they include what the average cost of living is, the average rent, minimum wage, taxes, and the transportation system. These 5 things are going to be critical to your financial life, so you need to know them like it's your bread and butter. And this will help you to budget properly, it will help you to plan, it will help you to know how much you need to move with, essentially. You should also research the city you're moving into. You want to know what the vibe is like, you want to know the culture, you want to know how diverse it is. You also want to know the amenities that are available to internationals. A lot of cities usually give like free gym membership for like the first 5 months or free bus tickets for like the first 6 months, stuff like that. You want to take advantages of stuff like that. Also, if you're traveling for school, most schools usually have international student offices, and these offices are there for you. So make sure you take advantage of it. If you have any questions about settlements, they're always happy to help. And if they can't help you, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. And that brings us to the end of step number 1. Again, it is do your research. Make sure you do your research. This is very important. Thanks. The second tip I'll be sharing with you is find your first friend. Your first friend can be anybody, just ensure they are located in the city you're moving into. This is because after your research, you would have lots of questions, trust me, that are specific to your city, and you want somebody from the city to answer those questions. So it's very important that your first friend is located in the city that you're moving into. How can you find your first friend? And it depends on what you're moving for. If you're moving for work or for studies, you can just quickly check LinkedIn, check your school, check your work. I'm sure you'll see a whole lot of people. Just go through them, check the vibe. Don't be afraid to shoot your shots. Shoot your shot, and generally, people are usually very helpful. So shoot your shots, chat them up, ask them questions. Now, you should be careful, like just don't feel entitled to people's time. People are usually very busy, so as long as you're getting response, just be contented with that. It might not be back and forth, but so long as getting a response, just take that, and that should be enough. If you're lucky, your first friend might be able to help you in the next tip I'm about to share, which is securing your accommodation before you travel. It is very crucial for you to secure your accommodation before you travel. This makes your settlement journey 10 times easier. Trust me, I've done this. It makes your life easier. You don't know what it is like to leave the airport and be sure that you're going to somewhere to lay your head, because you'll be exhausted from the journey and you just want to sleep. So it's very important to secure your accommodation. Your accommodation can be short term or long term. It can be a hotel or a house or an apartment. Just make sure you have somewhere to go the night you land in this new country. It is very important. Now, there are several ways that you can find a place, but the only way you can do it, because you are not yet in the country, is to go on the internet. So check online. There are sites where you can find places to rent. You can check Facebook Markets. There are usually listings there. There are also companies now that are around where you pay them a fee and then they help you look for a place. If you can afford to pay that fee, pay it. It makes your life easier. It's money worth spending. They do all the hard work, all the groundwork. They view the apartment for you. They pay the rent. They pay your lease. It's beautiful. If you can afford to pay it, pay it. Just be open-minded. Be open to several options. People do communal living here, where someone rents a house, or a landlord gives his house up for rent, and he rents the rooms out to 3 different people. It doesn't matter if they are male, female. They just rent it out to 3 different people. You should be able to live in scenarios like that. You're also looking for something that is fully furnished and the lease is month to month. This is because it's your first accommodation. You might not like it. You might want to leave after the first month. So you should be able to pick up your bag and say, I'm done with this, on to the next one. But if you have to furnish a place, it's more difficult to move, right? And if you also sign like a long-term lease, it's difficult to break that lease. So for your first accommodation, be flexible. Look for something that is month to month, and look for something that is already furnished. Those are the key tips I'll say you should have in mind. And your first friend can help you in this situation in the sense that if you've searched for places that you like and you've messaged the landlord and you've been communicating, you can then send that to your first friend and beg the person and say, please, if you have time, can you please help me view this place, send me pictures, is it in fact legit? And if they can, like I said, people are always happy to help. If they can, they'll help you and they'll verify if it's legit. So that's why finding your first friend is good, and also securing your accommodation is good. Because imagine if you're traveling to Canada, for instance, and you're living in December for school in January, and outside is like minus 10 degrees. You come outside, it's cold, you have nowhere to go, you're just figuring out where you settle in. It's just going to make your entire journey stressful. So find the accommodation, it makes your life easier. The next tip I'll be sharing with you is very short, but it's very important, and I'll call it get cash. What you need to travel with is cash. I'm sure your bank will try to sell you on some credit card, opening a dumb account. You don't need it. Waste of time. All you need is cash. Just ensure you are within the travel limits where you don't need to declare it and you're good to go. Secure your cash and travel with it. It also makes your life easy in the sense that you travel, you're in a new country. Say you're traveling with USD, for instance, and you're traveling to Canada, right? There are some expenses you might need to make. Say you want to pay the cab driver, or you're in the airport and you're hungry and you need to pay someone, or you want to pay your first hotel fee. They are going to take your USD. And if it's Canadian dollar you have, they're also going to take it, and you can rely on it. Now, I'm not saying those cards your bank will offer you would not work. They may work, they may not work. But when they do work, they charge you ridiculous bank charges. Like, it's not just worth it. So get your cash. Once you get to your country, of your new country of residence, go to the bank there, open an account, deposit your cash in there. They'll convert it to the currency that you'll be spending in your new country, and you're good to go. It's easy, it's straightforward. You don't need to worry about opening any kind of account, get cash. Cash is king. Cash is always king. The last tip I'll be giving in this series is pack essentials. You only want to travel with things you absolutely need. I'm not sure what kind of flight you're traveling with or what luggage space you have, but I'm sure it's always limited. It is never enough. So you want to maximize your luggage space. You want to maximize what you're traveling with. And for me, the most essential thing you can travel with is food. Pack your own food. Pack the things you like to eat. Because when you travel to a new country, you will crave those things. That's one. Two, you don't want to spend so much money. You want to go back to the food you've already packed. Three, you're in a new country. The menu will be confusing. The palette might be confusing. It might take you time to acclimatize, to adapt, to acquire the new taste. You want something that is familiar. You want something that you can go back to. Trust me, I've done this. Food is very important, and that's the most important thing. Pack food. And if you're like me, from Nigeria, where it's always warm, and you're moving to Canada, where it's usually cold, and you're tempted to buy winter gear from your own country, don't do it. I mean, not don't do it, but don't invest so much in it. All you need is one jacket, a pair of boots, a pair of gloves, a head warmer. Just those equipment for your first few days or your first few weeks, depending on your pocket and the weather. And the reason why I say this is the best place to shop for winter gear is the country where the winter is. You don't want to buy winter gear from Nigeria. It's not going to be sufficient, it's not going to be quality. So just buy one of each that will help you settle in. And then when you get to the country that you are in, then you buy the new stuff. Now you might be thinking, oh, wouldn't it be expensive? Might be cheaper to buy from Nigeria. Not really. There are thrift stores here. There are people always donating stuff. There are people always giving out stuff. International offices or international student offices are constantly giving out stuff. So you might be able to get something very cheap or even absolutely free. So don't stress yourself. Just make sure you have one or two that would help you settle in. And then when you get here, you can evaluate yourself and then get proper gear. I hope you found the few tips I shared helpful and that your settlement journey in your new country of residence will be a lot much easier. If you enjoyed this video or you thought it was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. can also leave me comments in the comment section to let me know what kind of videos you want to see. If you have questions that you'd like me to answer, I'm always happy to help. Thanks again for watching. See you on the next one.